What is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade, basketball analysis coming to y'all with that analysis while listening to analysis at the same time, getting ready to knock out this video for y'all. We're going to talk about the Philadelphia 76ers beating the Atlanta Hawks. We're going to talk about the Phoenix Suns beating the Denver Nuggets in Game 1. Philly played a lot more smarter. They was able to defend better, not give up so many open opportunities to the shooters. They was able to contain Trae Young a lot better. He missed some easy ones, still got to the free throw line, but he's a smart, great player, so he's going to be able to produce. And he was able to do it. They was able to just slow him down and stay home to the shooters a little bit more. And that was the huge key, was defense. The Hawks stayed in the game. They kept fighting. They kept going. But Shake Milton came in, hit a couple threes. And you also had Joel Embiid being the consistent, dominant force that he has been all season, being able to continually keep them having the lead, either getting to the free throw line or knocking down some tough shots. Seth Curry has been huge for them. Him being able to make plays and make shots from three or mid-range or even in transition was able to allow them to keep the lead and get a cushion every time the Hawks would make a run to take the lead. Embiid or Seth Curry or somebody would make a shot. Tobias Harris showed up again, being able to hit the mid-range and the threes from time to time. Also helped contribute for them to be able to get a lead before they was able to open it up. The Hawks, they game plan was working. They just couldn't get enough open quality looks throughout the whole game, and their long jump shots continued to ring and bang off the rim, and they continued to get ran through by the Philadelphia 76ers, who is not even really known as a team that's great in transition, but they pushed it and they came, and you gotta give a lot of credit to everybody running, filling the lanes, hitting the threes. Joel Embiid even was running. Ben Simmons is one of the best playmakers in the league, and he was able to have fun finding guys all game like he did in Game 1. And he didn't really have to do much offensively because so many guys was able to chip in and make big shots and make big plays throughout the whole game. And Philly is the better team when healthy. They is the better team coming into this series because they actually do have veterans and they actually do have great defenders inside and also in the perimeter. And Dwight Howard, he had a sighting where he made some tough baskets and some free throws to increase the lead to where they was able to coast it to the rest of the game and seal the deal. But I really like what Philly did, even when it looked like they was going to lose it, even when it looked like the Hawks was one eruption away from opening the game up. It was Philly that was able to use his veterans, use his size, and use his consistency by getting quality looks by the basket that we thought the Bucks would be doing against Brooklyn without DeAndre Jordan and those guys in the paint. Philly was able to do it, but also mixed in timely jump shooting from their perimeter players and Embiid to be able to hang with the the Hawks and still be able to use their defense and their transition game to fuel their game and get easy baskets. And that was able to, overtake the tough shots that the Hawks were shooting all game. The Hawks was able to give themselves a chance, but Philly was able to keep it going, keep it going, keep it going, and eventually the process was them getting a W and tying the series up 1-1. I told you guys not to panic, and I told you guys that Philly really started locking and containing them a lot in the first game, and they figured out some things and they made some adjustments in that game, and it almost allowed them to steal it. And they used that throughout the entire game, and the Hawks just couldn't make enough threes and enough shots to, for the whole 48 minutes to give themselves a legitimate chance to win this game. This game was basically over in the beginning of the fourth quarter, and it's unfortunate because the Hawks really didn't look that well in that period. And even though they made some tough shots, which was the Sixers, they had better quality shots throughout the entire game than what the Hawks was doing. And that's how we seen the Hawks lose to the Knicks. The Knicks was able to stay in. They was able to rely on defense, and they was able to pull away one game. And the Sixers will have to use that same recipe because when the Hawks are making their threes, they're unbeatable. If they do decent from three or a little bad from three, they're definitely a team that you can blow out or win in double figures if you can contain them for the right amount of time, and that's what Philly did. So it's going to be interesting to see what Nate McMillan does as now the series is tied going home to Atlanta, which they have been very fun and exciting there. And we know that they're going to come with a different mentality. And you know he's a coach that understands the game, has played the game as a player, and they have to figure out how they're going to score. If they're not going to keep the ball in and out like they was doing in the first game, the Sixers can put Matisse Thybulle, Danny Green, and Ben Simmons and these guys on the perimeter, and they can really, shrink the court and have Embiid rotate and protect the paint because they use Capella who can't shoot, and they can really make things very, very tough. They can be very tough when they're locked in, communicating and engaged on the defensive end, and we've seen them do pretty well against the Hawks, and they walk away with the W. Even though the Hawks did get the split, they're going to have to figure some things out, like I said before, if they really want to win this series. Not just win games, but if they want to win this series, they got to really, figure out how to exploit more of the Philly weaknesses defensively or try to find some things offensively that can really allow them to steal a couple more games and put the Sixers on the brink of elimination. Can the Sixers continually score with the Hawks? No. But if the Hawks can't make shots and they can get all their buckets in transition, it allows them to build cushions to where they can get the W. And that's what we've seen them do in game two. The Denver game was interesting because it was close and Denver was able to hang with the Suns, but Chris Paul and those guys got it going. They are the better team. They are healthy at this point. They do, to me, have a lot more firepower. The reason why I like them over Portland was basically because they're a better defensive team than Portland is. Denver was contained for the most part. Jokic was not dominant. Aiden has been a good body on Jokic throughout the regular seasons too, and he proved to contain and make it tough for Jokic again. He never was dominant as a passer or a scorer, in my personal opinion, to where he needed to be able to beat a team like Phoenix. And he just doesn't have the weapons around him to outscore the Suns consistently in a 7-game series. And that's why I picked the Suns to win. Devin Booker didn't have the crazy game that he had against the Lakers, but he's going to have to find a way to mix the good and the bad shots and continue to score within the flow. I liked it what I seen out of Crowder. He was looking for a shot early and often. Mikal Bridges was able to mix it up, but also splash threes and give them some trouble defensively. And Denver just showed that they can't score enough. If Jokic is not dominating and controlling the pace and the tempo of the game in the inside, they really don't have nobody that can really go off besides Austin Rivers, who's streaky offensively when it comes to jump shooting, and Michael Porter. If those guys aren't really going, who are going to be those guys that step up? Aaron Gordon is a good role player, but he can't really score and create his own shot consistently, and that can make it tough for Denver to get enough offensive flow to really help other guys get open and cut and be more dangerous. If guys are going to be able to be stopped or not going to be able to impact the game, Jokic is not going to be able to beat a team this good on his own. So he's going to need guys to be able to knock down perimeter shots so it opens up those lanes, because then you have to pay attention to them, and then you have to focus on them, and that allows Jokic to go one-on-one. If those guys aren't hitting threes and aren't moving and aren't getting out in transition, then this is a series that Phoenix can win in less than 6 games, because they have just as much firepower, if not even more, to me, than Denver. Plus, they also defensively match up well against a team like Denver, who relies a lot on Jokic or the perimeter players to step up, and their defense is pretty solid with Jay Crowder, Mikal Bridges, and Chris Paul on the perimeter. And Devin Booker has never been known as a great defender, but he is a legitimate 6'5 plus that can really move his feet and stay in front of you until help can rotate or help him out and make a contest or cut off the paint to where you have to pass it out. And since they don't really have great individual isolation scores outside of Jokic, you will live with them taking tough jumpers. You will live with them taking shots that they're not comfortable doing or being created off Jokic passing. And that's a recipe for success for a team like Phoenix in game one when they was able to compete on both ends of the court and pull away and get a W and get some rest to their starters. And then they get a dead rest on top of that going into next game. So it's up to Monty Williams and Mike Malone to make adjustments and figure out ways to get their teams going. Because Phoenix would like to be up 2-0 in the series, not 1-1. And Denver has shown against all odds they're going to continue to fight, they're going to continue to battle, and they're going to continue to stay together and play as a team. While Phoenix is the better team to me, they really got to figure out who's going to be that third and fourth guy that can really help them balance it out offensively if you're Denver. And Phoenix, keep doing what you've been doing. You are the better team. You have better weapons. You match up well against this team individually and as a team if you communicate. And if they're locked in and focused and knocking down their perimeter shots and having Devin Booker and Chris Paul as their closer, then Phoenix should be able to go up 2-0. And I like how they handled the Denver Nuggets for the whole 48 minutes and showed that they can really outlast them, and they was able to get the W and go up 1-0 in their first game together in the second round. Let me know what you feel like I got right, what I got wrong, what I overrated, what underrated, what you guys think is going to happen in game 2 for a team like Denver or Phoenix. Will Denver tie it up? Will Phoenix take the 2-0 lead? Or do you think also who's going to win? Will Trae Young and them figure it out and hit more threes and more shots and go up 2-1? Or do you think that this will be Philly being a veteran team, being a team that mixes it up on both ends of the court, will be able to win and go up 2-1 and take a game in Atlanta? Whatever you feel or think, let me know in the comment section below. Quinn Wade, Basketball Analyst, is signing out. Hopefully we'll make a video for tomorrow. Let me know what you guys think. I'm gone.